October 1995. Tupac Shakur walks out of Clinton Correctional Facility a free man to the world and to Tupac Shakur himself. One man pulled off the impossible rescue mission, Suge Knight. Tupac Shakur believed Suge risked it all and went out of pocket to post that staggering $1.4 million bail. But the street-level myth ignored the corporate reality hidden in the boardrooms, where Time Warner was facing massive public heat over gangster rap and flat out refused to write a direct check to free him. Instead, Jimmy Iovine and Interscope quietly funneled an advance straight to Death Row Records. Suge became the front man.
That was a moment in time where Tupac had fear in him. Here's the young man accused of things he didn't do and put in jail, and he didn't know who to trust anymore. And somehow or another he found that in Suge.
Time Warner wouldn't allow us to bail out Tupac. So what happened was we advanced Death Row the money, and Death Row bailed out Tupac.
Looking like the ultimate savior, and Tupac Shakur, he walked right into Death Row's arms carrying a mountain of perceived debt and a code of loyalty that would seal his fate. Once he was out, the plan was simple. Squeeze historic amounts of commercial success from an artist with a point to prove. Tupac Shakur went straight to work with obsessive, frantic energy, declaring they would record everything and drop a massive double album to let the whole world know who ran the game.
You know, we'd be in there lollygagging, making beats all day during a recording session, And it was like Tupac, like, man, if y'all in there for 12 hours and you ain't made about 8 records, bullshit. I was like, damn, 8 records? He's like, you ain't gotta complete them, nigga. You can just lay one verse on this one, lay a hook on this one, then you go to this other one and lay a verse and a hook, and then Daz, he's making the beats, so he ain't gotta rap on them yet. And then Corrupt, all you gotta do is just lay your shit to each one of them. Daz to get to him. You know what to do, nigga. I was like, oh shit, I never thought of it like that.
Then I went straight to the studio and I did 24 tracks in less than 2 weeks.
I don't know how to just sit up here and just say that same rap and then like it for a long time. I start hating this shit and then I'm ready to move on. The beat just start clouding my hair, you know what I mean? So we could do a lot.
They locked him into a relentless 3-album contract, birthing All Eyez on Me, but the dream team everyone wanted, Tupac Shakur and Dr. Dre.
Suge told me he and Tupac wanted to get together. What I thought of is Dre and Pac.
California Love, right? How did Tupac get on that record, man? Because I always heard this rumor, and I'm sure you heard it before too, that Dre, he really didn't want Tupac on that record, but Suge, he made him put him on there. Is there any truth to that?
Oh, Dr. Dre been had that beat. He had that beat for a while. Shit, Dr. Dre even told me once, you like this beat, Corrupt? Yeah, I'm gonna see how you sound on it. And I was like, ugh, I thought this was gonna be my chance. You know what I'm saying? And then Tupac came on. And then Dr. Dre, we was all, when the way we do it at Death Row is whoever turn it is, everybody contributes. So, your project freezes, everybody contributes towards the project that's at hand. So Dr. Dre gave Tupac Dr. Dre was working on that record for a while. Tupac came home, and when Tupac came home, I looked at that beat like Dr. Dre's heart. That was like one of his, he has such a plan for it that he was trying to figure out what am I gonna do with this beat, because it was so gruesome and banging, but it was fun. Tupac came home. So I looked at, when he gave him California Love, I looked at it like Dr. Dre gave Tupac his heart.
Already fracturing, Dr. Dre couldn't keep up with Tupac Shakur's lightning fast recording pace, and he was growing sick of Suge's violent, chaotic orbit. Dre checked out, leaving Tupac Shakur to carry the torch alone.
Suge was gonna kill Dre. He was gonna kill him because Tupac was making #1 records, and Dre wasn't producing them.
With Dre, and how does that affect Death Row as a whole?
Dre's doing his own thing. It don't affect us. My take on what happened was that Snoop was on trial for murder, fighting for his life. Somebody had said that Dre was in the car. The jury believed that. We needed Dre to be there to say he wasn't there. And once they would have saw him, they would have known he wasn't there. And that would have saved Snoop's whole case. Because they would have saw that the witness that had said it was lying. And Dre never showed up. He was too busy. That's how they told me. When they told me that, I was like, well, no matter how dope he is, and Dre's one of my heroes in the music business, but I was like, no matter how dope he is, if he's not down for his homeboy, Snoop brought him back when he was just a relic, when he was dissing him, you know what I mean? Then I don't want to be a part of him. I don't want to be around him or nothing. I feel as though what's done in the dark will come to light.
Tupac Shakur believed had literally bought his freedom from a maximum security cell. His loyalty became ironclad. It was his greatest strength and his most dangerous blind spot. He truly believed Suge Knight rode for him when everybody else turned their backs, swearing he was riding with Death Row until the wheels fell off because that was family.
Your life has changed dramatically in the last 3 years, and then particularly in these last couple 3 months.
No doubt.
Okay?
Yeah, not lying.
It has been a big difference. What's it mean to you, especially these last 2-3 months of your life?
It is a good reward for the patience of being in a maximum security penitentiary. You know, all the times when I could have acted up, or all the times when I could have went one way and I was like, I know this ain't forever. I'm gonna just ride this out, and I know it's gonna be my time again. And now it is my time again, and I appreciate everybody that wrote me letters, telling me to be patient and wait. Everybody that, you know, helped me to see that, you know, as long as you got your faith, you know, you can ride anything. There's nothing too scary where I'ma just give up. You know what I mean? I've seen hell and everything after it.
He became the label's ultimate shield, fighting a war he thought was mutual. He never knew the cold corporate paper trail showing that Interscope and Time Warner had actually footed the bill. By the summer of 1996, the illusion was cracking. Tupac Shakur had delivered the hits, fulfilled his major album obligations, and was quietly plotting his escape to build his own independent empire.
And he was like, nah, you don't want to sign to Death Row. He said, wait for me to start my label. You're going to sign to my label. He said, I'm going to start my label. You're going to sign to my label. I was like, shit, all right. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's what's up.
Started from scratch with Death Row, a new company. I was independent when I was Tupac. Me Against the World, I just bought my old managers out. I had it all now. I re-signed to be a part of this for my own, for this to make my own shit bigger. And now I got Machiavelli Records, and Machiavelli is the first artist on that, and then One Nation is the second artist on that, and then I'm signing Greg Nice and Smooth to either me or Quest. I got another group at Quest, Ghetto Stars, that's like an offshoot of the Outlaws. You know what I mean? I got New Jersey as part of the West Side now. You know what I mean? Just like war. We put our flag in Jersey. We ain't taking over Jersey. It's still East Coast. But it's just the West Side. There's now a West Side to New Jersey. Because West Side is not part of the map. I don't bang for the color or the land. I bang for the principles and for the honor. I'm banging for the West Side. This is in my heart. This is how I feel. Not West Side, California. This is where I'm from. It's basic like that, but it's really deep, like West Side. You know what I mean? When I be throwing at the W, it ain't for California. I love California, but the W is for just the East Side, it's the West Side, it's the middle America, and we divided. And that's why I throw this up. We at war right now. W for war. You understand? And when we all get together, when the East Coast and the West Coast and the Middle America get together, we got power. And that's when I won't throw it up no more.
He hadn't officially filed for a legal audit yet, but the questions were starting. How much money was actually coming in?
I was very happy when Tupac gave me the okay to type up David Kenner's your services are no longer needed letter. And we faxed that over to him immediately because it was a conflict of interest.
According to Richard Fishbein, the lawyer representing Tupac's estate, was that Tupac agreed to appoint as his lawyer the longtime lawyer for Suge Knight and Death Row, David Kenner, who says there's no conflict in what he did.
You just have to think about the consequences of coming in to have an agreement signed with the lawyer, and the lawyer walks out not only representing this side, but representing both sides.
Tupac's mother says no one at Death Row would give Tupac an accounting of his money.
He asked over and over and over and over again for accountings of the things that he did, of the monies that came in and never got them.
Tupac's family says Tupac was fast catching on and preparing to break free of his reliance on Death Row.
Where were the real numbers? If he had lived to walk away, a brutal financial war with Death Row would have exploded in the courts. Decades later, people still ask the dark question, did Suge Knight take Tupac Shakur out because he owed him money? But the logic collapses under the weight of reality. Tupac Shakur wasn't a financial liability. He was the golden goose keeping Death Row afloat, and sitting right beside him in the driver, SC to that BMW when the shots rang out in Vegas was Suge Knight, grazing death by inches. Even so, For anyone looking closer at the chaos, the official story of a hasty, spontaneous street retaliation just doesn't add up. The logistics, the timing, and the sheer number of powerful enemies pointing in different directions leave to many unanswered questions. Whether it was a ledger book execution or a setup wrapped in a street war, the tragic irony remains. Tupac Shakur fought and died for a loyalty built on a corporate illusion.
That seed was already planted. Pac knew Suge wanted to sign him, but back then, Pac he didn't want to mess with Death Row back then. You understand? So he had Keisha calling Death Row looking for Suge Knight. And for what I believe, and I remember he said Suge put up the money to bail him out.
With Napoleon saying what he said, it's a possibility not too many people knew the play that was happening behind the scenes. Tupac didn't know there were people who actually had his back, but had to sneak to help him because of the spotlight he was in at the time. Suge Knight bailed him out, but he didn't put the money up. It seems like their plan to get him to work closely with Dr. Dre didn't work. But if you don't say nothing, nobody don't know nothing. It's a big possibility. Tupac died not knowing who actually put the money up to bail him out. Personally, I think Tupac didn't want to be under any one label for too long. And that's why he felt the need to rush and get the albums out the way. And that relentless urgency became his legacy. Tupac Shakur wasn't just dropping music. He was racing against a clock he could feel ticking in the shadows. He pumped out double albums and saturated the market not because he lacked direction, but because he possessed a hyper-awareness that his time and his independence were running out. The tragic irony is that while he was fighting to break free of corporate chains and industry chess pieces, the very All Eyez who moved mountains for him so quietly, without seeking the credit or the spotlight, were trapped in the same violent crossfire of fame and power. He walked out of prison straight into a storm, driven by a loyalty to his art and an internal pressure to build an empire before it could be dismantled. In the end, Tupac left behind a catalog that outlived the conspiracies, the labels, and the betrayal. But the full story of who pulled the strings, who paid the debts, and who truly held the line behind the curtain remains one of hip-hop's deepest unsolved mysteries. A ghost story written in platinum and blood. Yeah, they can script the play and they can move the pieces on the board, but legends write their own final scene. Rest in power, Machiavelli. The truth usually finds its way into the light, even if it takes a lifetime.